Hi Star Wars fans, it's Mr. Corellian, and today I'll be reviewing for you R5-D4 from Wave 5 of the Vintage Collection. Now, something interesting to note about this R5-D4 is that it's actually just a repaint of the build-a-droid droids that you would get apart in every figure pack, and once you get enough of the parts, you can put them together and make a droid. And there was a couple different droids you can make, but this was one of them. This R unit, which means that he is totally able to break apart into all his respective components. See, the leg pops off there, this bottom one comes off here, and then he's just a droid body with nothing on him. And that's both good and bad. I mean, it means that he's limited to what those build-a-droids could do, but it's also kind of neat because, if you're making like a junkyard scene or something like that, or just want to battle damage, say you have him in the back of a Y-wing or something and he's gotten a shot, that you have a lot of options for variation with this. Because even on the inside of here, it's sculpted and painted, not on the inside of his head, but it also means that, of course, if you want to have him in a ship, you can remove that bottom leg and he'll fit in, or you can put the bottom leg in and he'll be able to roll. There you go. Speaking of rolling, on the bottom of all his limbs, he has little rollers, little wheels, so he can roll around. And I guess it's kind of time to talk about articulation. So this head can swivel here. So can his legs and his ankles. This bottom one cannot swivel, but it can be taken out. Let's see. Oh, one other strange thing. There's holes down here. I suppose that you could take the legs out and put them in those holes, but I don't really know why you'd want to. So I'm a little confused about why they're there. But they are, and deal with it. So yeah, as I said, we've seen this sculpt before on the build-a-droid, and it's a fine sculpt. It of course means that there's no little hidden compartments or anything, which it's always fun to have in one of the R unit droids and one of the astromech droids. So a little disappointing that you can't get anything out of that. But the most disappointing is that this is R5-D4. This is the bad motivator droid. It would have been really nice to have that feature that many droids do, where you swivel their head and the little thing pops out at the top. The motivator, I presume. But nothing of that happens. I mean, you can see in the head there's nothing there. Which it just seems like it would have been a really natural feature to include, because the one scene that he was in, we saw that thing pop out, so it makes sense to have that pop out in the figure. But oh well, they didn't include an extra feature. I guess that's not the worst thing in the world. The paint on this guy is good. It matches the movie perfectly, and he has a lot of weathering all over pretty much every panel. It's pretty subtle, but it's there. It's this sort of yellow sandy color, which makes sense because he's on Tatooine. So a good job on that. This is an iconic figure, so it's likely that you'll want to get this guy if you haven't already. But all in all, objectively, it's not that great of a droid. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, just because it would have been really nice to see that feature up there. It's kind of a bland droid, even though it's one that we're interested in, because it's from the famous purchasing the droid scene. Yeah, because really this guy has no extra, features, little pop out anything, except that you can tear him to pieces. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this. So, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you. That's kind of funny. I never say keep collecting at the end. I must have been watching too many of Sith Lord 229's videos lately.